Nirad, in the first race, I have Dorsabel. She ran a very fair race. Unfortunately, she was a bit lethargic from the jump out. Being a 5 furlong race, by the time she could, come on, it was a bit too late. I've extended the trip and gone over a 6 this time. I hope that she does it over here. But her previous starts, all her races, she's won over a 5. So running over a 6, I hope that she comes and she takes advantage with the maturity that she has now, and looking forward for her to be right there.
I've got Champagne Smile in the first race. She ran a grand race at the beginning of the season where I just got beat by a short head, and I was very disappointed with the second start. Where she kept on putting her head up, which she normally doesn't do, and I was dissatisfied with her ride. But I ran her again 3 weeks later, and she ran a poor race. So I've given her a lot of time off, and she's put on a lot of condition. I've trained her differently this time. I hope she doesn't repeat her antics like she normally does. If she doesn't, she'll go close. But it is a competitive race. There's Faisal's Dowsabel in the race, and Zip Along from Narain and Prince of War. But an open race, but I hope my filly runs well.
You've got quite a few decent rides tomorrow.
Yes.
Take us through them one by one, and what do you think your chances are?
I'm riding Mufasa in the first race. He's run a decent race. He runs at a pretty decent weight also. I think the horse over there is Dozabel. Everyone is feeling is that right danger in that race. It's a very open race rather than my horse has a decent chance and a handicap chance. I think he may strike. It's
Altaf, you got a couple of runners. Just take us through what are your main runners like Art Collector. What are his chances and what are the dangers in the race?
Art Collector, last time he ran second, and my other horse won. Tomorrow he's running with Neeraj Rawal. He has a decent chance. Only thing I'm worried he's looking a little light, and he worked well. And let's see tomorrow. Inshallah, he will be there tomorrow.
I'm running Art Collector in the second race. He's running a 5 furlong race. He ran his first start, which he finished third. He ran a decent race, and I'm riding him for the first time. He runs with a nice chance.
Then in the second race, I have Zukor. He's been very consistent, and he's shown a lot of improvement this season. And he has the form with him, and I hope he has the luck to win another one for me, though he won at the start of the season.
The second race, I've got Me Arion. He's still not where I'd like him to be. I think he'll be a better horse in the forthcoming Bombay season. I think he'll need the run over here. The horses are, there's Zukor, Art Collector. My horse will definitely need this run.
Esperanza is running after a gap of about 2.5 months. She's undergone a surgery, a tie back surgery, and this is her first run after that. So I hope she runs well.
My first run is a horse called Paris. She's got decent form. She's won 2 starts and placed in the other race, placed as well. Since she's gone up on the scale, I've put a 5 kilo claimer. I think she'll give a very good account of herself.
Third race, I have Fortune Teller and Dali Swirl. Both of them have had a decent form. Fortune Teller is being ridden by Amin, and he won his race with Amin in the beginning of the season. And hopefully, again they put, the two of them put up a good show. Dali Swirl is ridden by Saklain. He's also been quite consistent. He's running at a higher class, so I still feel like he's got the weight advantage. So I hope either of the two come out and do well. I'll be happy.
In the third race, I've got Portofino Bay. She was a very highly rated 3-year-old in Bombay. She won me the Group 3 Guldas Poonawala. and she ran a very poor race in the Poonawalla Breeders' Million. She didn't take the summer well over here, so I gave her a little time. I've run her only one run over here on the 13th of August. She didn't have a coach, she wasn't looking well, she was off her feed. I've given her a big break, nearly 2.5 months now. She has come up a bit, but she's still not up to the mark. But I hope she runs well.
I'm running Portofino Bay in the third race. She's running a 6 furlong. She's run one race which has been very disappointing this season, but she's got a nice form of Bombay. I hope she produces that and runs a nice race.
Into the Storm runs the class 4 5 furlong. He won a 1,000-meter maiden race last time. Unfortunately, I had to give him a slight break because he picked up a mild infection. He's come out of that. He's working well, and he's got a good draw, and the field doesn't look to be too competitive. I expect him to go close again and run a good race.
Then in the fourth race, I have Sim, who's just running her first start after her operation. She had a tie forward. She's worked well. Let's see how she does. It's difficult to say after the operation. Mojo, unfortunately, has not been having the same form which she had last year. I hope she shows some spark and runs a fair race. But I'm also hoping that she shows some kind of a spark in this race.
I have Hall of Grace running the Rajendra Singh Ji Million. Again, the mile is a suspect. It's a small field. I'm hoping to control the pace and hopefully she should last out the mile. I suppose Jendai is the horse to beat over there because she was very impressive in Bombay. I just hope my horse stays the mile, and then we can sort of program her for her future races.
This is concerned, I have two runners. I have Alexandros and Jendai. Jendai hasn't had a run in the entire Pune season, and as everyone would have noticed, horses do require a race to be at their best or to improve on the Pune track. Having said that, she's worked well, but my other horse, Alexandros, has also worked really well, and I think both will run at a good chance.
I'm riding Alexandros in the General Rajendra Singh Ji. He's had 2 starts so far this season. He's been improving horse. It's a nice race. It's a nice big race. I feel Zenda is the horse everyone has to beat because her victory was very impressive in Bombay. Let's see.
I have Webley Boy running in the maiden race, though it's a very competitive race with a big field. And he's knocking the door. He's ran good third last time out, so he's well himself. He's kept himself good, feeling fresh, and I'm hoping for the best. Though it's a very competitive race, I hope he does well.
Yeah, I'm riding Bubbly Boy in the 6 furlong maiden. He's been knocking on the door a couple of times. I've been placed very badly. The drawn has been very bad for me, but still I feel he's got a nice chance. Serrano and Pacey's horse is there. I think these two are my life dangers in that race.
Well, I think Northern Lights will find it a bit long, and I believe that the horse with the first chance in the race is Mojito.
So Dangerous runs the RWITC Invitational. She ran the Ledger, which was a pretty hard race for her. So I've given her a slight break and freshened her up. Haven't done much with her. I think she's fresh and well, and the 2,000 meters seems to be a better distance for her. So she's receiving weight from Northern Lights. So I expect her to go close and run a good race.
And then I have a horse called Rasputin running the terms race. Of course, there's Northern Lights and Dangerous to contend with. But I think at the scale, he should give a good account of himself because his form in Bangalore is quite decent.
I have Wall Street running in the Mile and Quarter. He's run a very good race in Bombay, though he had a little setback and He was not at his best, but we are taking our chances. I hope he runs a good race.
I'm riding dangerous in the Oxford Properties Tina Khatrak Memorial Million. She's got a very good form to go by. She ran a disappointing race in the Ledger. I think she didn't stay the trip. She's running to her pet distance right now, which she won. Start of the season, Eve Champions. She runs with a nice chance. Northern Lights is my main danger, but I think she's the horse everyone has to beat.
Then I have a filly called Idealista running her second start of her life. Her debut, she met with a lot of interference, and she couldn't put up. She put up a very poor show. Let's hope she makes amends this time.
In the 8th race, I've got Goldiva. She's also been a bit of a disappointment. She's won one race in her career in Bombay. She ran a nice race on the opening day where she ran third, and she's had 2 or 3 disappointing starts. If she jumps well, she'll go close in this race.
I have Lion King running in the Class 5 mile. He's an old horse, 7-year-old, but he's been very consistent. He's placed in his last 3 starts. His last run was very impressive, where he finished second over the 10 furlongs. He's running a mile now, and I think he runs with a fair chance.
I'm riding Idealista in the mile. She had one start meets in the mid season, which she ran a bit poor race. I don't blame, because she was badly knocked out in that race. She's come up. I think she's got a nice chance in this race also.
The last race, I've got Intense Belief. She's more of a Bombay filly than Pune. She's won both. She's won 2 races in her career, and she's won both in Bombay. She's been a bit of a disappointment this Pune season, but her last run was a little suggestive, where she did go to the front and she led till the furlong marker. She's working well, looking well. She should run a good race this time.
I'm riding Intense Belief in the last race. She's been running quite consistent races. She's demoted to a class, so I think she's got a nice chance. She can strike in that race.